Melissa is actually traveling to Boston right now to speak at a Super Saturday there. So she asked me if I could step in tonight and kind of take the reins. So tonight's call is, just make sure you guys are all muted, if you can make sure you are. Okay, I think I have everybody muted. So tonight's call is for post-summit. And first, I wanted to start off by saying congratulations. Where's Lauren? Lauren Fitzgerald, if you're somewhere on here, she just finished her qualification for 4-star. Woo woo, yes, so good job, Lauren. You're such a rock star, I adore you. So I had the privilege of going to Summit last week. If you've never been to a Summit, make sure that it is a non-negotiable next year, because it is one of the most incredible things you will ever witness in your life, especially since our businesses are so virtually based, they're online based. Getting to see everybody in the flesh and hug everybody on the team and hear from the top 10 and from, corporate and Carl, and it's a whole nother level. It just really makes everything so much more real than it feels like on the computer and on our phones. And one of the things that they talked about at Summit this year was completing a program all the way through, because as coaches, we're kind of like, ooh, I'm going to do a little bit of Insanity Max today, maybe do some 21-day fixed portion control with that. We kind of like to make our own hybrids of the programs, which is great, but as coaches, it's our responsibility to coach our challengers from start to finish in a program. So one of the things that they asked us to do is really commit to completing a program all the way through. So I just started 22-minute hardcore yesterday for the first time, and it is already kicking my ass. But it's something that you guys should be thinking about as we are, okay, here we go. Something to think about during this call. So by the end of the call, I want you to know what program that you are going to commit to, start to finish, and you can let us know in the chat to keep you accountable. But by the end of this call, have in your mind what program you're going to do from start to finish. So as you have guessed, this team call is about Summit and all the momentum that comes with it. And like I said, it's so incredible. If you've never been, make sure that you go next year. It's going to be in New Orleans, which is going to be really cool. It's going to be something different. And tonight, Melissa asked 5 really incredible women. I mean, everybody here on TeamMADE is so incredible, and we're all like-minded, so I know I can say that. But these 5 ladies, I've actually had the privilege of meeting each one of them and chatting with them individually, and I adore all of them. They are so sweet, and they are what a coach should be. They are everything that a coach should be, and I just adore them. So I'm just gonna give each of them about 5 or 10 minutes apiece to talk about their greatest takeaways from Summit, for those of you who weren't there, and for those of you who were there, but maybe something spoke more to them than it did to you, and you can kind of refresh that. So the first person that we are going to hear from is Amanda Ward. I'm going to hand it over to her for a few minutes, and she's just going to share with us her greatest takeaways from Summit. So I'm going to unmute and give you the floor.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I never wear earbuds, so I feel a little disoriented. And I'm actually going to kind of read this stuff just because I typically talk a lot, and I know I've got a time limit, and I was really careful to plan out the points that I wanted to hit. So I am going to read a little bit, and it's funny that you're starting with me because maybe we start with the hard to hear stuff and we'll finish with a little bit easier, more inspirational commentary from my lovely sisters. But I'm really starting with a little bit of a tough love approach. A lot of my takeaways from Summit this year are exactly what speaks to me, and that is truth. I mean, I don't like to use the word motivated a lot, because I think we all have motivation. We don't need to go looking for it. And so truth really speaks to me. So these are the points that spoke to me from Summit this year. I'm going to start with a comment that Brittany Leggett made in one of my workshops. It was about coping with disappointment. Allow your satisfaction to come from your work ethic and not just from your results. Develop a rhino skin, and I will add to that, and a heart of gold. To have longevity in this business, our fearless leader, Melissa, says you actually have to love what you do. It has to go deeper than this everyday activity, right? But there's this constant balancing act between being a hard ass and tough love with yourself, and then being that warrior for the lives that you're changing with your challengers and building your coaching team. And let's talk about that. That's my favorite thing that Autumn Calabrese says. Let's talk about it. If you're not getting the results that you want to see, the first thing you need to do is to assess your current mindset. It's not about how you started. It's not about where you want to finish. It's about right now. Where's your head at? Are you blaming? Are you looking for a problem with the system? Are you blaming the Facebook algorithm? Are you talking about how compliance has too many Success Club rules and you can't get lifetime points and all of this drama? Does it go directly to, well, this happened and that's why I suck right now? You know, are you blaming, or are you aware that you are in complete control of how you move forward? This is my dialogue with myself that I'm sharing with you guys. The problem that most of us have is that when things don't go well or as expected, we point our finger outward. We find some reason that things didn't go our way. But the reality is that victim mentality will do nothing but cut off every opportunity we have to move forward, because we're giving our control away when we become that victim. There's such a fine line between blaming others and having legit accountability. I'm not going to get into the psychology of blaming, but if you want some great PD, I recommend Brene Brown and Christine Kane as awesome authors for that sort of self-development topic. And Gary Vee made me think of it like this. When he was talking about all of the negativity on social these days, the loudest voice always wins. So we have to think about how we're talking to ourselves. It's not just about what our Facebook post says. It's not about how we're talking to our challengers all the time. It's about what you're saying to yourself. What are you hearing? You know, and it's not even just about how you're talking. It's what are you hearing? What are you giving your attention to that's feeding into where your mindset is? So to bring it back to a more tangible, applicable place, I'm going to take it to another workshop that I was at. Shay Stanford said, and I love this, the answer to every single problem you will face in this business. It's like the golden ticket right here. You ready? You need more people. That's it. You need more people. Like seriously, like you don't have the coaches you need. Your coaches aren't building. Get more people. Your challengers aren't getting results because they're not plugging in. Go find more challengers, right? It's so simple. And Melanie Mitra told us in one of our general sessions to confront the hard facts of life. So buckle up because this is hard to hear, but people aren't reliable. People aren't reliable. Why? Because they're not you. You're not in their brains. You don't have the switch to toggle on and off their mindset. You don't have an eraser to remove the experiences that feed into their decisions. You can't count on anyone. There's a teeny tiny line between loving on and investing in and trusting the people that you bring onto your team. And then between that and putting all of your eggs in one basket and expecting to see your success from everybody who's around you, right? Like it's such a fine line. You need to do all those things, but you can't just leave it there. People get sick, people have babies, debt happens, husbands leave, all these crazy life things happen, and we can't do anything about that. And I don't wish bad things on anybody, but when bad stuff happens, you can't get stuck in that bad place with those people. So what you recognize will repeat itself. This is the law of attraction, and it's based in brain science and the reticular activating system in your brain. But long story short, if you continue to focus on how your people aren't doing what they need to do, that's what you're going to continue to get. Summer Tucker said, marriage is 0%. And I fell in love with this. Everybody always says marriage is 50-50. It's not, it's 0%. If you expect change from something, you have to change. And I'm not going to call her out, but I have a very good friend here on this call who is a perfect example of that recently. And I've watched her and I'm so inspired and admire her for recognizing that she needs to make the changes that she wants to see in her life. And I just high five, I love you. I think you're an awesome human being. I think you know who you are. So the minute that you realize, I'm wrapping up, or if you are a proactive person that you're going to do this anyways, that you're not seeing the movement forward in your business that you want, you've got to shift your focus away from that blaming game. You've got to turn the activities that will get you those people that you need, the ones that you're meant to work with, the ones that you're meant to partner with. You do have to start friending new people on Facebook, exploring new hashtags on Instagram, liking and commenting on posts that spark your interests. We have to be real with people if we want real people. And this is how we build relationships. And this business is built on relationships. We don't just say, hey, you like to work out and you hate your job, you want to be a coach? That's not how it works, right? I mean, it works with our best friend, but we're not here for our best friends anymore, you guys. We're tapping out of that space. So we have to find those people who don't know what we have to offer yet. Remember, there's always people watching you no matter what. And it doesn't matter how many likes your posts are getting. They're still watching you. So to wrap up, stop allowing disappointments and being discouraged to be failures, and stop allowing those failures to be insults from something external. You got to turn it around. You got to look inward. Darren O'Lean says, if you're tired, learn how to close your eyes and take a breath for a minute. It's important to nurture yourself. It's all a balancing act, holding yourself accountable, but not getting into a blaming and shaming game with yourself, staying in the trenches, but also growing a team of leaders and emulating resourcefulness, recognizing that the menial, tedious phase 1 tasks are exactly what it takes to grow, but that as you grow, you've got to be a grown-up by seeking more, growing, and doing better every single day.
Mic drop. The call's done, guys. You can all go. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was so perfect and so powerful, and I love that you just were like, this is a tough love, and this is what you need to hear, and especially because we are adults, and we have to treat this business like it is a business, and that sometimes requires you blessing releasing people that aren't at your same work ethic and that aren't on the same level that you are, and that's okay. There will be those people. There will be people that aren't this as you are, and that's okay. But there will be people that aren't you, and you need to be available to invest yourself.
Hello.
Let me make sure everybody's muted, and then we're gonna pass.
Where is it?
Pass the mic. Let's see. Make sure. Okay, I think everybody's muted. All right, so I'm just gonna go alphabetical order from here. So Chrissy, I'm gonna find you. I know you're on. There you are. All right, so I'm gonna pass it off to Chrissy. I don't know if any of you guys have ever met Chrissy.
Actually, I was next. Why do I have to follow Amanda?
Equally as fabulous as Amanda, and she's gonna share with us. All right, so Chrissy, I can't find you. Where are you, girl? If you're on here, speak. Say something.
My internet is really bad right now, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Am I like frozen? Okay, so you're frozen. I'm assuming that I'm frozen.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna like pretend like I'm not seeing a bunch of frozen screens. Okay. By the way, Amanda, you can pass. I don't know why I have to follow you, but I will. My first takeaway is just go to Summit. Maybe I should start and with that. Just go to Summit, because I was the coach that didn't go to Coach Summit my first year, and I really wanted to. But we had a trip to Kauai. I know, like I bawled and cried and bitched, and that's just who I am. I'm just gonna say it. But I wanted to go to Coach Summit so bad last year and didn't get the opportunity to do that because I was in Kauai. Now experiencing it for the first time after being a full-time coach with Beachbody, it's like the most amazing thing that you can do with your team. We have a team. I'm assuming that's why you're on this call, is because you're going to have a team. You know you want this. And so if you have never been to Summit before, my advice to you is to do it your very first year. If you've never been and it's not your first year, do it anyway. I have a lot of feedback. I kind of went the route of like asking other people what they got out of Summit along with my own details. And I just wanted to say my very best takeaway is if you want to grow this into something bigger, you have to go to Summit. It's so much fun, and the team aspect is incredible. And it shows your other teammates that didn't go how much fun it was. And I've already had like 10 teammates sign up for next year. So just that in itself, I'm already looking forward to 2017 Summit. I got the Charlene Johnson workout, which, you know, she's my boo. She doesn't know it, but she is. And I could listen to her talk all day long. And right before she started her PIO workout, she said, we just want people to be happier, healthier, better, and to feel good. That's what you do as a coach. I am one of you. When you don't lead with sales, when you don't lead with product, but when you lead with your heart, best.